Hi everybody, and welcome back to video number 7 in chapter 17. And when we left off, we had just gone through these facts on Nelva Manufacturing Company. And we were going to then go look at the solution. And what are those journal entries for both the consignor, Nelva, and the consignee, best value, to record this transaction? So if I look at that for the moment, here we're going to show that the inventory is going up, consignments, and finished inventory is going down. And then for the payment of the freight costs, we're going to reflect that as a debit to inventory on consignments, and then our cash here for $37.50. That's for the consignor. Now, the payment of advertising by the consignee, we're going to have a receivable from the consignor for $22.50 and credit cash for $22.50 to pay for it. And then the sale will be reflected as a debit to cash for $40,000 and a credit to payable to the consignor for $40,000. Now, the notification of the sales and expenses and remittances, or amount due, we're going to have cash, $33,750, advertising expense, $2,250, commission expense, $4,000, and then consignment sales for $40,000 for the consignor. For the consignee, we'll have the payable for $40,000. We'll have the receivable from consignor for $22.50. We'll have commission revenue of $4,000. And finally, a credit of $33,750 cash. The adjustment of inventory on consignment for cost of goods sold for the consignor will be a debit to cost of goods sold and a credit to inventory consignments for $26,500, and that reflects 2/3 of the $36,000 up here and the $37.50 here, and that's going to be $26,500. Okay, warranties. There's two types of warranties to customers. One, here, product meets agreed upon specifications in the contract at the time the product is sold, and the warranty will be included in the sales price. We call that an assurance type warranty here. Or two, we provide additional service not included in the sales price of the product, and we call that service type warranty, and that is recorded as a separate performance obligation. Let's take a look at an example. Mavericks Company sells 1,000 Rolomatics on October 1, 2025 at a total price of $6 million, with a warranty guarantee that the product was free of defects. The cost of Rolomatics is $4 million. The term of this assurance warranty is 2 years, which Maverick estimates will cost $80,000. In addition, Maverick sold extended warranties related to 400 Rolomatics for 3 years beyond the 2-year period for $18,000. On November 22nd, 2025, Maverick incurred labor costs of $3,000 and parts cost of $25,000 related to assurance warranties. Maverick prepares financial statements on December 31, 2025. It estimates that its future assurance warranty costs will total $44,000 at December 31, 2025. So, what are the journal entries that Maverick Company should make in 2025 related to the sale of Rolomatics and the assurance and extended warranties. Well, we're going to reflect the sale of the Roll-O-Matics and the related extended warranties, and that's going to be a debit to cash. That's going to be this $6 million, which is here, and the additional $18,000 for extended warranties here. And so the sales revenue then will be $6 million, and the unearned warranty revenue, a liability, will be $18,000. Now, to record the cost of goods sold, very easy. We'll debit cost of goods sold, credit inventory for $4 million. Now, on November 22nd, 2025, we had some costs related to warranty. So we debit warranty expense for $25,000. Or $28,000. That represents $3,000 for the sales and wages payable portion of that, and $25,000 for the inventory parts given in the problem. To record the adjusting entry related to its assurance warranty at the end of the year, it's going to debit warranty expense and credit warranty liability for $44,000, which is given in the problem here. Okay, I think pretty straightforward on the warranties example. Now, non-refundable upfront fees. Here, we get payment sometimes from customers before the product is delivered or before the service is performed. It generally relates to the initiation, activation, or setup of a good or service to be provided or performed in the future. In most cases, upfront payments are non-refundable, and that those examples would include maybe a membership fee in a health club or an activation fee for a phone, internet, or cable service. Okay, let's take a look at an example. Erica Felice signs a 1-year contract with Bigelow Health Club. The terms of the contract are that Erica is required to pay a non-refundable initiation fee of $200 and a membership fee of $50 per month. Bigelow determines that its customers, on average, renew their annual membership 2 times before terminating their membership. What is the amount of revenue Bigelow Health Club should recognize in the first year? Well, in this case, the membership fee arrangement may be viewed as a single performance obligation. Similar services are provided in all periods. So that is, Bigelow is providing a discounted price in the second and third year for the same services. And this should be in the revenue recognized in those periods. Bigelow determines the total transaction price to be $2,000. That's the upfront fee of $200 and 3 years of monthly fees at $50 a month. And it allocates it over the 3 years. In this case, Bigelow will report revenue of $55.56 each month for 3 years. And that's the $2,000 divided by 36 months. Okay. So if we summarize these revenue recognition rules here, the sales returns and allowances, here's the description and the implementation. I will let you read these on your own just to better reinforce the other revenue recognition rules that we've just gone through. But the sales and returns allowances, here, the seller may recognize an adjustment to revenue for products expected to be returned, and bravo, an asset and corresponding adjustment to the cost of goods sold for the goods returned to customers. In a repurchase agreement scenario, generally, if the company has an obligation or right to repurchase the asset for an amount greater than the selling price, then the transaction is a financing transaction. In a build and hold scenario, revenue is recognized depending on when the customer obtains control of that product. And in a principal agent scenario, amounts collected on behalf of the principal are not revenue of the agent. Instead, the revenue for the agent is the amount of the commission it receives. The principal recognizes revenue when the goods or services are sold to a third-party customer. And then in a consignment scenario, the consignor will recognize revenue only after receiving notification of the sale and cash remittance from the consignee. The consignor is going to carry the merchandise as inventory throughout the consignment. The consignee then records commission revenue, usually at some percentage of the selling price. Okay, in a warranty scenario, a separate performance obligation is not recorded for assurance type warranties. That's considered part product. Service type warranties are recorded as a separate performance obligation. Companies should allocate a portion or the transaction price to the service type warranties when present. And finally, the non-refundable upfront fees should be allocated over the periods benefited. Okay, we'll put this little beauty into practice. Outback Industries manufactures emergency power equipment. Its most popular generator is a model called the E-Booster, which has a retail price of $1,500 and costs Outback $740 to manufacture. It sells the E-Booster on a standalone basis directly to businesses, as well as provides installation services. Outback also distributes the E-Booster through a consignment agreement with Home Depot. Income data for Outback's first quarter of 2025 from operations other than the E-Booster generator are as follows. For revenues, $6.5 million, expenses, $4,350,000. Outback has the following information related to the 4 booster revenue arrangements during the first quarter. Number 1, Outback entered into an agreement with Grocers Co-op in eastern Minnesota to develop e-boosters for the meat lockers in the grocer's store. Outback provides a 5% volume discount for e-boosters purchased by Grocers Co-op if at least $450,000 of e-boosters are purchased during 2025. By March 31, 2025, Outback has made sales of $365,000, and that represents $1,500 times 240 generators to Grocers Co-op. Based on prior experience with this promotion in 2 neighboring states, the discount threshold is met for the year if more than 1/2 of the target is met by mid-year. This looks like a good place for us to stop this video, and when we return, we'll continue on with this put into practice example. Until that time, bye for now.